Good morning, friends. It's Bob again with another reflection. I'm hoping that you guys had a tremendously fantastic Easter yesterday. Well, we gathered together with the church and then with the family, and it was absolutely spectacular. And it was so good actually to be together after all this time. So I want to take this little bit of time and talk about something that's a little bit of a lightning rod, and that is that I'm going to get vaccinated today. And I have been waiting around a little bit, and I want to address why I'm getting vaccinated and ask you to perhaps be vaccinated too. But I'm really just trying to give you the rationale of why I'm going to get vaccinated today, and my first one for the Moderna one. And I want to encourage you to get that as well. So here's my process. And again, you can judge me all over the place on the process, but I want to cause you to think about this perhaps in a little bit different way than you thought before. Firstly, I'm getting vaccinated because I'm taking the virus seriously. That even though the death numbers in our valley have not been, the fatality numbers have not been nearly as bad as it has been aggregately for the rest of the county even, or San Diego and Los Angeles and Orange County, I still am taking the virus seriously because it is a worldwide pandemic. And I think that it's important to say that, over the years that the church has actually been particularly effective at using medicine as a way of being able to reach people and to care about people. I read an article. I'm not all the time in agreement with Franklin Graham, but I read an article by him that he basically came online saying that the parable of the Good Samaritan even is a way of the Samaritan, actually the religious establishment, basically kind of staying on the sidelines while somebody's in need, and that the wine and the oil of the day were the medicines of the day, and that he employed that to care for this person who was broken. And I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but I respect the angle on that. And so the idea here is that medicine is not evil. Medicine is not the devil. It's not, and the vaccines are not coming from the devil or anything of that sort. It's not the government's way of getting a hold of you. So my first reason is I'm taking the virus seriously. My second reason is that I've done some research medically in this whole thing. My daughter is actually, I've got a PA and two nurses in our family, and so we've been doing a little bits of research here, and Becca has done the research a lot. She's a nurse at CHLA, and she got vaccinated in the first wave of the vaccines because she's an ICU nurse, and in that she passed on a number of blogs that were doctors, researchers talking about the vaccine. It was a really technical, a lot of it, but I thought it was really helpful in terms of, and I don't even remember which ones they were, but that was early on. But FDA experts, CDC experts, doctors and research doctors and different things like that in terms of the credibility of these vaccinations and these vaccines. And I thought it was quite credible and convincing. Thirdly, oddly enough, I talked with my mom about this, and my mom comes from a generation where they had polio, which was just wiping out people, and smallpox and a number of these different things, and they saw vaccinations as a very good thing for society. That they and so I asked my mom, who's a very, very conservative evangelical kind of a person politically, and I said, "Are you going to get the vaccine?" She's like, "Oh, absolutely." I mean, we see vaccines, my generation sees vaccines as really positive in terms of being able to eradicate these kinds of things from our society. And I thought, well, that's actually really helpful, to that kind of thing. She saw it as a no-brainer, and I was really glad I got to go out to see them. She and her husband a little while ago, actually a month ago, because they finally got vaccinated. I didn't want to get on a plane, and then with a bunch of people I don't know, and then carry something into their house, but they're vaccinated, and they see that as a no-brainer. Perhaps my biggest reason in this whole thing is I think it's doing my part to love my neighbor. For me, it is, not being a carrier is something I particularly value for loving my neighbor, and especially in our church. And not being susceptible to it. I think that for me, it is being considerate of those around me to be able to not be a carrier, and I want to be able to touch people freely. I want to be able to love as extravagantly as I possibly can, and for me, that's a really big deal. obviously, if you know me, you know that I have contact with a lot of people, and I'm an octopus. I put my hands on different people. I don't want to carry something. I don't want to share that kind of thing with people. So for me, that's a really big deal. Again, I'm thinking of them. And then I think the last reason in this, that at least that I can think of at this point in time, is I don't want to get it myself. I don't want, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of of this, of the virus. But I would prefer not to get it if I didn't have to. One of my big things is I really like my sense of taste. I don't really want to lose that. I'm not afraid of dying by it. But I'm healthy. But I in all of these things, I just want to encourage you, do your research. There's a website out there called christiansandthevaccine.com. christiansandthevaccine.com. It's a Christian website aimed at helping Christians get their minds around what this whole thing is about and why they should get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. It's not political. This is not a political thing. I'm not trying to make a political statement. I believe that this is love and this is wisdom. I want to ask you, because I love you, to seriously consider getting vaccinated. But I'm going to get vaccinated today, and that's the reason why. And I just wanted to give you that rationale. Some of you might just think I'm a complete idiot. Well, that's what you think. If that's what you think, that's what you think. But I'm going to do it. These are the reasons why. I want to encourage you to make a really intelligent decision here and think about others, not just about you. And that's really my whole purpose with this post today. It's not to ruffle any feathers. It's not to kick the bear. It's not to do any of those different kind of things, but to just encourage you to, and if you're going to do some research, don't do it just from one source. Because I think that what typically ends up happening is we just listen to one source, and that's our sole source of perspective. Get a broad understanding of this, and then I want to encourage you to think about others, and I encourage you to get vaccinated. Thank you for listening today. I love you. That's the reason why I'm saying this. Have a great day.